Well, good morning and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope that you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Be careful out there on the roads. Just make sure you get there and get back in one piece. The Dallas Cowboys have had a lot of tragedies in their team, in their organization, from Josh Brent's car accident, losing a teammate, to Dak Prescott's brother committing suicide, as well as Marshawn Nealon. And what we need to do is we need to take situations like this and let people know that they're not alone in the situation that they're in, and that there is help out there for each and every one of us. And on this Thanksgiving, take care of your own, take care of your friends, take care of your family, and make sure that if somebody needs some help, that you're there for them. Shout out to the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys for trying to bring more and more awareness to mental health issues.
For Marshawn Nealon, their teammate who passed away a few weeks ago, you could see the tributes from fans, the coach, the players carrying his jersey. And it has affected every single person in the Metroplex who knew him and, of course, rooted for him. And the same thing around the entire football landscape. And that does include his teammate, Cowboys defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, who knows all about this subject matter. He's honoring his sister Ella with his My Cause, My Cleats by founding the Defensive Line, which works to end youth suicide by starting and encouraging honest conversations about mental health.
As men, we grow up to think like, hey, if I stuff my feelings down, if I don't cry, that means I'm strong. And that's not the truth. I'm living this life of the third pick.
The San Francisco 49ers select Solomon Thomas, defensive end, Stanford. Solomon Thomas.
He is everything as advertised.
I have all this money in the NFL, so people probably thought I was fine, but inside I was truly dying. I grew up in a locker room and we didn't talk about mental health. There was a lack of attention there, but we all can be part of the solution. And so we started the defensive line where we're truly destigmatizing mental health, trying to keep people here as much as we can and let people know it's okay not to be okay. This year for My Cause, My Cleats, I'm proud to be representing the defensive line. Growing up, I lived in an amazing environment. I had two supportive parents and the best big sister I could ever ask for. I had a lot of social anxiety, a lot of self-doubt problems, but Ella taught me how to love myself, accept myself. She validated me, made me feel seen, and just made me feel okay being me. I go off and have a great career at Stanford, and Ella goes to Arkansas University, and we kind of noticed more struggles for Ella start showing up. Her mood starts to swing more, she's struggling more, but things keep going well for me on the field.
Solomon Thomas again. Talking about coming of age.
I get drafted third overall to the San Francisco 49ers. My sister's back home, struggling to keep going on with life. In my off season of my rookie year, I get a call from my dad, and he tells me that Ella had died by suicide. My whole world was kind of like flipped went down, torn into pieces. That was the most important person in my life. I was just completely distraught. Didn't know how to keep moving on, and didn't know how to talk about it. It got to a point where my world got so dark, I just didn't want to be here anymore. I was just stuck ruminating on the thought of suicide. Because I didn't want to be here without my sister. I thought the pain would never end. I thought this storm would just surround me forever. My mom kept approaching me to get help, and I wouldn't do it. And then General Manager John Lynch came up to me, and he was like, hey, Solly, if you need help, we got you. And for me, that kind of lifted all the weight off my shoulders. He saved me from all those thoughts and all those misconceptions I had in my head. And I finally started going to get help, learning how to find light in the darkness. From this came the strength to be vulnerable. I started talking about my feelings, my story to public news outlets. That's when I started getting the responses of people around the world and just like understanding that, oh, I'm not alone in this. So many people are struggling with mental health. And that was what motivated me and my family to start the defensive line.
We want to transform the way we communicate and connect about mental health.
We can play a role in this. We can make a difference.
Every single week, 119 people died from the age of 13 to 24 by suicide. that's 2/3 the size of a Boeing 737. There's still such a stigma around it, though. People still feel shameful talking about the feeling, especially men. But we can change this. And it starts with opening our hearts to one another. And that's true strength. The biggest thing I ask is to take care of yourself, to love your neighbors, to ask them if they're okay. And if you notice someone struggling, or they're not eating the same, they're not showing up to work the same, be like, hey, I see something and I care. These kind of conversations can be more life-saving than you could ever know. It takes all of us. Together, we can make an impact.
Together we can all make an impact. That is a beautiful thing. And shout out to the NFL for sharing this and promoting this. You know, football used to be the great equalizer, that it didn't matter where you came from or what your background was. Football was a thing that we could all agree on and have fun for a few hours, you know, on a Sunday. And I hope that we can get back to that. You know, for me growing up, I've learned so much about football. There's a lot of bad things about football. I'm not going to lie and pretend that there's not. It's a dangerous sport and so on. It's a cutthroat business. But there is a lot of good that is being done by a lot of great players. And I have been fortunate enough to witness some of those great players because of United Way and my wife's job of working with the NFL. So you look at sometimes how things happen. Looking at Solomon Thomas, he looks like Dak Prescott. In fact, I'm sitting here, I'm doing some changes here in the studio. I'm upgrading some things as technology gets better. I'm using wireless HDMI senders, so I'm getting rid of all these cables and things and making the studio a lot better than what it has been. Definitely less of a tripping hazard. And I was watching when this came on, and for a second I thought it was Dak Prescott. But you look at it, a guy like Solomon Thomas is the exact type of character player that you need to go through a situation like what we have here. And this makes you realize that Marshawn Nealon definitely had mental health issues and things. But it goes to show you that not just him. And when you see somebody who you look at and say they got everything, and you understand that they can have problems and issues too, then you don't feel as alone and realize there's nothing wrong with me. I just need a little help. And so seek that help and understand there's people that care about you, that want to make sure you're okay. Reach out to your people. I'm Mark Holmes, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.